Hey everybody, this is Eli Freestone, and you're watching my Week 1 introduction video for Public Speaking Online, term 1501. I currently reside in Loveland, Colorado, and I'm in the Mobile Development Online program. Although I don't necessarily believe I'll be doing any major presentations in front of large groups, I do believe it's very important that I learn how to be able to communicate properly, even if my audience is only talking to my boss about adding a feature to an application that's already, on the market. I do need to be able to capture my audience and really get my point across, not only in a professional manner, but in a manner to show passion, to really drive the point home. As mentioned by Gar Reynolds, you must be a storyteller and really affect your audience at the deepest level in order to involve them. Otherwise, they typically get bored, they just kind of check out and stop paying attention. And that's definitely not what we want when we're giving a presentation or a pitch of any sort. As Phil Wankel states, you definitely have to speak passionately. If you don't care about the subject matter that you're talking about, why would the audience care? They're just going to kind of check out. He even referred to it as a death by PowerPoint. And I definitely agree with that, because I feel that PowerPoints have really become more of a crutch for presenters. They're the main thing. When the presenter themselves, the way they present the subject should be the main thing. The PowerPoints and the visual effects and all of that should be secondary to really drive the point home, not the point itself. And I think that's really where a lot of presenters go wrong, is they just try and let the PowerPoint be the presentation, when people don't like that. They just get bored, and they stop paying attention. The presentation goes unheard, essentially. So overall, I do have some issues with presenting. I do have some anxiety issues that I've dealt with pretty much all my life. Although those have pretty much been conquered, they are still present, and I do end up getting fidgety as well as rambling. I'm definitely working on those. I have been for a vast majority of my life, and I definitely have made a lot of progress, but they're still most definitely present. Overall, I think my professional execution is good. My background isn't great. Unfortunately, there's very limited space available within my residence that meet all the requirements. My office here is really the best overall. That kind of checks boxes with some. There's definitely room for improvement, such as my background. I do need to get some sort of a drop sheet or something along those lines. Although it's not horrible, it's just a wall with a painting and some jackets. It's still not perfect. I would definitely prefer to have some sort of a flat drop, perhaps even just hanging a curtain or a sheet, something along those lines to really help that out. Lighting is overall, it's reasonable considering the general space and what I have available. I do have lamps on either side, but I don't have any light above me. So there is some shadowing, and I also, even though it's daylight outside, I did have to close my curtain because it was definitely causing a lot more light coming from my right side, and that was causing a lot of issues. I have tried a lot of different ways to light my face and my general area to really help with these videos, but unfortunately I kind of have to find a good compromise, because if I point lights directly at me, even if they're diffused with a curtain or a sheet or something along those lines, they definitely cause a lot of issues, especially with my glasses glaring up and causing issues with being able to see my eyes, which I think is more important than having perfect lighting. I would rather have decent lighting and still have the eye contact, as opposed to really good lighting and essentially losing the eyes altogether. Overall, I think that it could use improvement, but I think it is reasonable. Background noise is typically pretty good in my office, although there are some things that I can't really control. There is a radiator heater that sometimes will start pinging, but thankfully my microphone doesn't necessarily pick that up. There's also a neighbor that has a big diesel truck that he loves to just let sit idle. Again, I don't think the microphone necessarily picks that up, but it is there. Overall, I think my camera placement is reasonable. This is the camera on my MacBook, so I'm kind of limited as to exactly how much I can move it around and everything, but I think it really came out pretty decent. Alright, so goals. My major goal is I need to be able to capture the audience. I don't always have the confidence that I need, and I tend to kind of jumble things together when I get nervous. I'll start speeding up and rambling. So that's my main goal. It's various different parts of it that I think I can accomplish just with practice mainly. But yeah, confidence is the biggest thing I need to work on, and that way I can really exude it and capture my audience with it and get my presentation across in a professional but passionate manner. Overall, I think that's really the main goal, but again, it is several different parts to it that I need to work on, and hopefully I'm going to be able to get all that taken care of this month. All right, thank you for watching, and have a good night.